Live. Hip. Inspiration for the soul. Inspiration for the soul. Inspiration for the soul. You're watching the Tracey Casey-Arnold Show with TA.
Well, welcome you guys to the Tracey Casey-Arnold Show. I am Tracey Casey, better known as TA, and I am bringing a message today, bringing a focus that is just heavy on my heart. Matter of fact, I'm just going to be honest with you. It's hot off the press. I feel like I'm surrounded around it. I feel like everywhere I turn, I feel like every single person that I coach with, that I, minister to, that I speak to, man, this is the thing. And I've just been a strong believer that, Lord, when it comes to you using me as a superhero, you will make note and you will make it known what it is that you want me to bring. And Lord, you have definitely done that. So today I want to focus on my single ladies. I want to focus on my single sisters. I want to focus on my ladies that to me are what I would call God's most prized possession, are you guys. I want to dive in today, ladies, where I want to talk to you about a few things. I made some notes here on the card because I didn't want to forget anything. And I'm one of those that I don't need to look like I've got it all up here and memorized. If I use cards and use my glasses, to me what matters more is that the message is what the Lord wants me to share with you. And I want to read this off to you so that you'll know what our focus is. He will never choose you if you do not choose you first. Let me say that one more time. He will never choose you and think that you're the prize if you've not chosen yourself because you know you're the prize. See, this is where I want to dive into a few things today that you must choose first in order for you to find the one that God truly has for you. You must choose to honor yourself. You must choose first to respect yourself. You must choose first to be a woman who is honest with herself. And you must choose first to put yourself in waiting. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You must choose you first and understand your worth and your value. And understand that you're the next best thing and no one's ever going to be able to repeat what is perfect and what there is only one for him to ever believe and to feel and to treat you in a way that you deserve to be treated, that you want to be treated. And he will never, ever, ever treat you the way that your heart's desire to tend to your heart and your needs if you do not choose you first. So I'm excited that you've joined me today. This is going to be good. Y'all are about to feel where I get my name, TA. See, the godly woman is called Tracey Casey-Arnold, but TA, no, she's straight up flesh. And she will show up and show out in order to be there for her sisters and in order to bring a message for her brothers and in order to do the Lord's work. See, I'm one that I like Batman. Batman's one that, man, he's a man of honor, but he's a little crunk. That's this chick right here. And today, you guys do not get Tracey Casey-Arnold. You're going to get TA because she's about to bring it real and raw, ladies. And I hope you're ready. So grab your pen or, man, grab your soda, because we're about to go deep because we must go here. And we'll be right back. Tracey Casey-Arnold show. I am so excited that you've joined me today for a show that I know may be a little saucy, a little spicy, a little something, but it's definitely a show that must happen and needs to happen today. You guys, we are talking to my single ladies, my single girlfriends, my sisters in Christ, or man, just my home girls. We are talking about being single, and the title is He Will Never Choose You If You Do Not Choose You First. And as I spoke before we took a break, I spoke about a couple of areas that we must make sure, ladies, that we're choosing ourselves. Number one, and I've got my notes here because I don't want to miss one thing. See, whenever I get like this, as I said before the break, this is my TA side, my sister girl side. This is the side that the Lord says I need to unleash her sometimes in order to bring it real and raw. Y'all, this is one of those times, and I'm truly excited because ladies, single ladies, we must swallow this scroll, and I don't want to miss one thing. So with that, you guys, I said that you must choose to honor yourself first before He will ever honor you. To me, honoring you first start to me with your body. This is the one place that you must understand that as you give yourself to this guy and that guy, that you are not honoring yourself, and you are definitely not acting like you are a prize. You're acting as if that any guy can get you, no matter who he is, and that it's free, and anybody can walk up in Walmart and you're on an aisle. This is not the way God designed you. He says you're precious. You're valuable. He loves you so much that He sent His Son to die for you. That He doesn't have everybody for you. He's got one person that He has created for you. But some of us have a hard time honoring ourselves because we want to give ourselves to that man so that he will be with us. Some of us even give ourselves to the men because we're scared of losing him. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you got to give yourself to a man in order to keep him, I'm going to sit here and ask you, is what you're fighting for is worth having? You want a man that honors you so much that he's even willing to wait for it if he needs to. He's willing to say, you know what, I'm not leaving because I know how good you are, and that the honor of yourself is what also gets him to know that you must be something if you're not just giving it to everybody who comes around the corner. See, we've got to switch our mindset, ladies. We got to change what is out there. We got to change even the status quo or even things that we see in media. See, to me, a man won't marry the one that's been with 11 or 12 other men. He wants to marry the one that, believe it or not, has been saving herself for someone special. See, I'm sorry. Let me get some men on here and let me tell you I've done it, and I may just go ahead and do it and really ask these men, what are they really desiring? Matter of fact, I had a show. It was called What a Man Really Wants, What a Man Really Needs. And I had 5 of the most sexiest looking bachelors on my show. And as we dove into what a man's really looking for, they're not looking for the woman who's willing to give it up so quickly. They're looking for the one that, believe it or not, is rare. And who has saved themselves up because they honor themselves, who has been more in pursuit of her career and her future and her education. That, a matter of fact, she won't even give him the time or day unless he can step to her versus her stepping down to him. You must first choose to honor yourself in order for him to honor you. Because here comes the truth, ladies. If you were able to give it up to him so quickly, then there's no need for him to value anything else about you. So to me, you want a man who wants to know your mind. You want a man who wants to know your thoughts. You want a man who wants to know what your favorite color is or how you like your coffee in the morning. You want a man that just feels like that part is the love making, is getting to know every single thing about who you are, what makes you twitch, what makes you smile, what makes you cry. They can't even think about not studying you and even having a pen and a paper because they want to know it all. You want a man who is so much about the value of your heart and your mind and who you are, that even when it comes to your body, he feels like he's already won. So many of us are not honoring ourselves because we're so desperate to have him and to get him that we put ourselves in situations just to keep him. And this shouldn't be about what you have to do to keep him or he's going to run off to somebody else. This should be the fact that he knows the value that you have and he can't imagine doing anything to lose you. See, God says you're the prize. God says you're the one. God says that a good man is a good man when he finds a wife. See, to me, you got to stop looking at dating as just dating. You got to look at dating as your pursuit to find the one. And to find the one that was going to honor you. That's going to respect you. That's going to take care of you. And it's going to protect you. And can't even imagine doing something to hurt you. Or he will hurt himself. So stay tuned, you guys, because TA is not done. This is a show where we're going hard today because I'm surrounded around many women right now that I know is God's most prized possession. But that's giving away the prize. Are not willing to put the foot down and say, no, I know who I am. I know my worth. And this is what I require if you want to get with me. We'll be right back. Welcome back, you guys, to the Tracey Casey-Arnold Show. I am TA, and we are going deep, y'all. Woo! I think the lens on the camera is burning up, y'all. If I start to look a little warped, hey, don't worry, it ain't your TV. Don't go to Best Buy. It's a hot topic today, you guys, and it is just time to bring it. Right before we took our break, you guys, we were talking about how he will never choose you if you do not choose yourself. And we talked about honoring yourself, honoring who you are, honoring even what you're trying to achieve. I've met ladies and I've mentored and coached millions of women, and I can't tell you, almost over half of them are willing to give up their dreams, are willing to give up who they are in order to submit to make sure he feels okay, that he's taken care of, and that he pursues his dream. I'm going to sit here and tell you, to the man that God has for you, now y'all should be about helping each other achieve your dreams. It should be about you helping him and he helping you. It should never be where one has to submit who they are. One has to submit their friends because he doesn't want you having friends. Or one has to be more reserved and can't be out and can't be doing stuff because it makes that person feel insecure. No, if we start having issues like that, you guys, you must take a step back and ask yourself, are you honoring who you are and who God has designed you to be? Are you honoring your self-worth? Are you honoring your dreams? Are you honoring what God has called you to do? Because the man that God has for you will come and step next to you and say, baby, I'm going to help you achieve that. Never, baby, I need you to sacrifice it. And for some of us, we get ourselves in situations that who we are, we go and submit that because he doesn't like that or he's intimidated by it. Or he doesn't like you talking to your girlfriends because they're probably building you up. He wants you all. He wants you to myself, baby. I'm going to sit here and tell you, to the man that God has for you, he understands that God has never made you for just him. God has made you to do great things for other people that don't even match. And so with that, you guys, we're going to go to the next one. You must choose trust. You must choose honesty in yourself, and you must expect it and command it from the person that you are with. The moment that trust is lost, the moment that lies have happened, to me it is like a glass that is broken. No matter how much you try to sweep up the glass, no matter how many pieces you try to pick up from the floor, and no matter what super glue that you've got with the latest technology, it cannot put that glass back together for it to hold water. The water will leak. See, this is one of the biggest things to me of all, besides honoring yourself, is that you must expect and demand honesty. Because let me tell you, when people lie to you, if they do it once, they'll do it again. And don't get me wrong, people may lie to you and you are to forgive them and give them another opportunity. But if you find that you are with someone, ladies, that keeps lying to you, he's telling you he's somewhere and that's not where he's at, or you catch him in lie after lie, then we got to go back to number one. Are you honoring yourself to stay in that relationship? For a lot of us ladies, we think that we're the ones, I can change him. I can fix him. I can help him become that man that I can see that he's going to be. Versus looking for the one that either already is or you see him in hot pursuit of it and you know with your fire to his fire what you could do together. See, to me, trust is the most important thing. Honesty is the most important thing. You've got to be at peace knowing that if you're at home and he's out somewhere, that you don't have to worry about what is he doing and who is he doing with. And for some of us ladies, we get in a place like I got, where I was with the man, and the moment that I caught him, the moment that I saw that he was with somebody else, I knew in that moment that I needed to walk away. I needed to leave. I needed to pack my stuff up and never come back. But the moment I came back, I taught him something. I taught him that he could do that again and I would stay. I taught him that my value and my worth were less than that. I taught him that I was okay with the lying and the cheating. Because the power he had over me, I was not going to be able to leave. And as he continued to lie, as he continued to not be honest, as he continued to do things that just didn't fit right with me, didn't sit right. See, ladies, we know we've got something called that discernment. We've got something called that God-given gift of God, which is why we know when our children are up to something and we don't even know where they've been. We feel it. God has given it to us as a gift that we know. We may not be able to put our finger on it. We not be able to catch him in it, but we know something's wrong. And for some of us, we can't walk away or leave because we can't get the proof. We can't go and say, I caught you. But I'm going to sit here and tell you, if you're staying in a relationship where he has lied to you, and don't think that lying means that he's told you a lie. To me, not being honest means something he should have told you that he held from you. Something he should have said to you that he kept from you. It took his ex-girlfriend or his ex-wife to call you. Or it took some friend that saw it and finally told you. Or it took you having the guts to ask him about it and going hard, sisters. You know how we can go hard to get the truth. We know something. And now he divulges it to you. Sisters, I need you to hear me. I need you to feel me. This is TA. That if you do not demand and command honesty, and you do not stand in the fire and get him to know that you ain't playing, and that you're willing to walk away, if you don't have that, then you will teach him a lesson that, oh, she ain't gonna ever leave me. And he'll never leave a life of honoring you because he'll never feel the risk of losing you. You are a prize. You are unique. You are wonderfully and beautifully made. And ladies, and don't let me flip the script and call out the ladies that are doing it to their men. We gonna have a conversation like that. This is for you ladies today. This is about what you desire and what you want. You must be it, but you must choose it first. That means if you want honesty in your relationship, then you must be honest. But if you want honesty to reign, then you must hold him and hold yourself accountable. And you must never, ever, ever accept it and keep accepting it, because the lying will become the norm and you'll be up sleepless. You won't eat. You'll be crying. You'll be worried. You'll be stressed. You'll lose your job or can't even go to work. Your children won't even feel like they've got a mama around, or your family will wonder where you're at. I know because I've been there. And little by little, it ate at me. And little by little, it chipped at me. And little by little, I stayed in that relationship for 11 years and could barely get out, that there was nothing left of me and I forgot who I was. That is why I'm speaking to you today. And ladies, and I'm going to say something right here that ain't even on my cards, because I want to speak the truth about my life and share it with you. And if you got a man who isn't pursuing dreams and not out there working, sitting on his butt, but you're taking care of him, you must kick him out of your house. You want a man that can come side by side with you. You want a man that as you're working hard, they're working hard, because when two or more are working at greatness, what you can do, you weren't meant to be his mama. You weren't meant to be the one to take care of him, and you weren't meant to be the one to solve his problems. It may be that it's time for you to give him to his father and let his father deal with him. You weren't meant to go take your hard-earned money and go take care of a man who just wants to sit on your couch and do nothing. That is not what God has made you for. And here's the truth. That's not even what God made him to be. He's a king. And don't think that that's love, because it ain't love. And that's not you taking care of your man. Something's wrong with that. No man should be happy on a couch while his woman's working hard and him not saying, baby, let me come and help you. But again, if you don't honor yourself, if you're not honest with yourself, and if you don't command and demand honesty and demand for that person to be about your worth and your value, and ladies, I'm not here to call you out today. I will. Then to me, he will never really choose you and become the man that God designed him to be with you unless you do. So stay tuned, because I'm about to bring a big one, and I'm about to close this show out in a way unlike others. And here's the thing that I know, I may lose some fans today, but I will be honoring my God and what he's called me to do today. So I hope you join me back. I hope you're feeling something. I hope it's tearing at you, and I hope it's setting you on fire. Because the last one we must speak about, ladies, and we must draw the line. Be right back. Welcome back, you guys. I truly hope you have enjoyed this message today. But more importantly, I hope you not just feel my heart, I want you to feel my soul. This is something that I feel so strongly in my mission to be what God wants me to be for him. You know, he's called me here to the camera. He's called me here to share my voice, just like he'll call you in your greatness and what he wants you to do. This is a message that I know, ladies, that needs to be heard. And so my last one kind of has a slant. It's a last one, but there's two parts to it. Ladies, single ladies, as we talked about this title, that he will never ever choose you if you don't choose yourself first. One of the things that I want to share with you as my last point is he will never choose you and choose you the way that you want to be chosen if who you are is someone that breaks up a home. I need you to hear me. It is not okay, ladies, to break up a home. For some of us, we're told, I love you. You're important to me. I want to be with you. I'm just with her because of the kids. As soon as we get a divorce, as soon as the kids get older, we gonna be together. I need you to feel me in this moment. That was my life. I believe that. See, I was the girlfriend when we met. He cheated on me, took the woman that he cheated with and kept cheating on me and got her pregnant. And I remember when he told me she was pregnant, and in that moment, because remember, I didn't leave the first time he was dishonest, I stayed. But now he came to me and told me she was pregnant and that he wanted to do the right thing because she told him that if you don't marry me, I'm going to have an abortion. So he married her. And I remember me making a decision that I was going to let them go, that I wasn't that person to go and be the other woman, that I wasn't that person to be with somebody who was married. See, I told myself those things. But because I stayed after the honesty was broken, I found myself in a trap that I couldn't get out of. I found myself so knee-deep in him that I couldn't even walk away, even when he said, I'm going to marry her. For the first year or two, I tried to just be a friend, which was part of the problem. Because in that moment, we need to walk away. We don't know how to just be friends. Things were too hot and too intense. And my love for him, he was the love of my life, was too great. I wanted to be with him. I wanted to be that woman. That our friendship ended up turning into a relationship where I became the other woman. And because I stayed in that moment, because I stayed and I did not choose me and I didn't honor me and I didn't command and demand and hold accountable trust, and because I taught him something completely different about myself, he knew that I would stay, and I did. And in that moment of a conversation being just temporary, in a conversation of him sharing with me things of how she was with him and how she treated him and how she was ugly to him and how he wasn't happy, little by little, I started to make excuses. Excuses. And I started to justify me staying with him and how he doesn't love her, he loves me. And how look at how she treats him, and I don't treat him that way. I even started to play house. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Where we had house over here, where I was the woman, I was the wife, I was the one cooking, I was the one tending to him, I was the one treating him better than she treated him. I was the one to act in a certain way that she didn't act. I was the one who felt like she doesn't want to be with him. He's just there for the kids. When really I got myself into a situation that 11 years went by. And I told myself that every day, this was the day that I was going to leave, but I couldn't leave because it was a trap by the enemy to get me in so deep into something that I could not get out of because I never chose me. Ladies, I'm going to tell you, don't be the woman that's the other woman. Be and honor yourself to be the woman. Because the 11 years of my life, what it did to me, it scarred me forever. In a way that when God finally brought my man, my husband, my kin to my Barbie, the afflictions, the mental and emotional scars that I endured, that became a part of my breath and my blood and my skin, affected my relationship with the one who truly chose me and loved me. It made it hard for me to know how to be that person for him. It made it hard for me to even get rid of thoughts of infidelity. It made it hard. It brought things into my marriage that should have never been there, but it's because I allowed myself to stay. told myself that just when the baby gets older, when the baby graduates, we're going to be together. That graduation came and it went. And I started to realize that this man is never going to choose me and he's never going to love me if I don't love myself so much that I know I am not a homewrecker. And I'm far worth more than the other woman. Dang it, I'm the choice. I'm the one. You choose me or keep stepping. And if you're occupied and that sign says occupied, there's no room for me, I'm going to pass that house. See, some of us ladies feel like we are the ones that's supposed to be with him. And everything he says to us, we believe it because we so desperately want to be loved. We're so desperately wanting to be his. But the problem we don't realize is that he's not available. He doesn't belong to you. And if God wanted him for you, then he would have been. But because we struggle with our value and our worth and choosing ourselves, we get in those situations. We stay in those situations. We justify it and make excuses. And before we know it, we maybe are even having fights with the other person, fights with the wife or the baby's mama. And that right there is tacky. And it's ridiculous. And you're far greater than that. Because let me tell you, if he wants to be with you, then make him choose you. But ladies, here's the part that I need you to hear me. But you don't make him choose you to break up a home and a family. You move on. You move on. And if that's the man that God has for you, then you want him to bring him clean. And you want to know that he's choosing you, not just because you're there. And if you don't do it, you're going to bring crap into that marriage. You're going to bring history in the past and the things that where you were the other woman, things that you did to sneak off and see each other and to have a life. It's going to mess you up because there's not going to be honesty and truth. It's going to be like that glass that I spoke about. And there's going to be a place for the enemy to take place in your relationship. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, God will never bless an adulterous relationship. And for the longest time, I thought God wanted him for me. That that's who I was supposed to be with, that God had him for me, that we were destined to be together, the lies that I told myself. But the fact that I didn't choose myself, to honor myself, to love myself, to value myself, is what got me to that point. And little by little, the truth became whatever the truth was that I needed to keep me there. Even removing friends, having an isolated life, creating home and playing house. But little by little, I need you to hear me, that man stopped respecting me. And little by little, because I showed him that I would stay and I'll be with you while you're married, I had the hardest time getting that man to love me, to choose me, to value me, to respect me, to honor me, and to be with me. That it became a life or death. And I chose my life. And I broke off what ended up being altogether a 21-year long enslavement. 10 years of us being together and 11 years of him being married. Ladies, you are worth more than that. And the price that you pay and the pain you take with you and the scars that will take forever to heal will rob you of what God has for you and your worth and your value. It ain't worth it. Let him go. And if he is not about you and for you, there is another man that God's got for you that belongs to you. Do not be that woman. Don't dishonor yourself and don't think you look pretty because you don't. To me, and I'll say these words, I realized that I was pathetic. And I realized that there was pain inside of me from my childhood. There were things that needed healing as to why I got myself there, and I needed to deal with those things, face those things, and wait for the man that God had for me so that he could love and honor me. And I would know that he chose me, even if it meant Because that's what it meant, that I had to leave the love of my life. Then you're not the love for my life. You are the love of my life. Hope you caught that. So ladies, I hope you hear me. Single ladies, I hope you feel me. And I hope you're getting this message, because you are worth far more than rubies or gold, God says. And it is who you are that gives value to a man to make him glorified in the town or the city, according to Proverbs. You are. So sisters, I love you. Single ladies, I love you. And I look forward to seeing you again.